My name's Larry and I'm with Under the Bridge Flies, and we're going to tie a little extended body caddis fly. And basically this here's what it looks like, and it's tied on a clink hammer hook, and this is a nice little pattern and fish going to go crazy over it. So what we have is a 1160 Daiichi, and it's a clink hammer hook, size 14. And we're using black 8/0 unithread. And what you're going to do here is we're going to start right behind the bend of the hook and just bring your thread down, stop there, clip it off, and you want to keep your thread above, before it makes that turn. So the next thing we're going to use is a velvet chenille. And this is fine rusty brown, and this is a hairline product. And we're just going to grab a piece of this, and it only needs to be a couple inches long, so just trim you off a piece of it. And what you're going to do now is you're going to take your lighter, and we're just going to torch that up just to get a little, that'll keep it coming unraveled on you. And then we're going to decide, and like I did this one, it's going to reach out past about a hook shank, past the back of the hook. And once you get it to where you want it, you're going to keep it up on top. Just go ahead and tie it in right there on top. And we'll tie it back, and then we're going to put some up underneath of it to keep that tail up there on top. So once you get that, you can just get rid of the extra and clean it up a little bit. All right, so the next thing that we are going to put in is we're going to put in a little bit of CDC, and we're using cinnamon CDC, which is basically rust. They both look about the same. So now this can be tied in, a lot of different colors. You could use yellow or red or whatever color you want. We're going to take that CDC now, and we're going to let it extend, and it's going to extend back to the back of the tail there. And once you get that where you want it, just go ahead and tie that in and clip off your extra. There you go. And that's about that. And we're cleaning this fly up as we go, so you want a pretty good sized head right there. So all right, the next thing we're going to put in is some deer hair, and I'm actually using a piece off of a pelt a guy sent me of a deer leg. Hunters seem to like to send me a bunch of hair and fur and legs and stuff. So now I'm going to put in the, I got two different colors here. I'm going to use the more wider side for this fly. And we're just going to find us a chunk of this as I can get a hold of it. And clip her off there. And it might not be long enough. Maybe find a little bit longer section here. Now, that'll do just fine. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put this up in our hair stacker, and we want to stack those tips good. Once you get those tips stacked up, go ahead and pull that out without dropping it like I just did, preferably. And there's going to be a bunch of small fur and stuff like that in there, so we're going to go ahead and clean that out. And we're probably going to sit this back in the stacker again, since I had it messed up from the start. Alright, so now we got our hair, our deer hair here, and again we're going to clean it out, you know, pull out some of them looses, and we're going to let this run all the way back again to the back of the things of the there. So we're going to clip this off, and then we're just going to set that right on top and tie that in right there. And remember, in your head again, you want a nice even taper for your head. And once you get her good and secure, work on that head a little bit and just give it a pull, and you'll pull out some more of that stuff there. Now the next thing we are going to do is we are going to take another piece of CDC, and this time we'll probably just use the one. Make sure you get a nice bushy one, you know, pretty long, and we're just going to set that right on top there and keep it to where it's splaying out on both sides, and wrap that in. And see how that splays out on both sides, kind of covers that up a little bit. So, all right, trim that off. Go ahead and clean up your head there. You want that covered up pretty good, your black head there. All right, so the next thing we're going to do once we get that in is we're going to grab a piece of hackle. And I got this, I got a couple of different kinds, but this is a ginger, just a small section of ginger that I'm going to use, and my hackle is actually going to be probably a little bit wider than normal. I just like the little bit thicker head on these things, so we'll find me a nice feather here. Flip it off. Alright, so we're going to strip it down, since you know you're not going to use a lot of this feather, so you can, you know, strip it up high, get, you know, to the skinnier stuff. Snip that off there, and so I got me a good tie-in point, and we're going to tie this sucker in here. Get that good and tied in, and then clean up our head just a little bit more, and we're actually going to stop our thread up a little bit away from that. So all right, and like last time, I'm just going to go ahead and stick my hackle pliers on it that way we don't have to do this twice, hopefully. And we're just going to go around and around and around. You see, I'm not leaving a whole lot of room, but I'm leaving a little bit in between there, because I want that black to shine through too. And around one more time. And since we're on the bottom there, we're just going to go ahead and grab that there and wiggle our thread through. Do that again and kind of wiggle our thread through. Try not to capture any of that. And once you get that all secured, you can just go ahead and pop that hackle plier off of there. And if you can grab your scissors and get you a cut on that, and just holding that thread the whole time, You can just go ahead and keep that tight there, and then we can just go ahead and get us a whip finish on this thing. And see, we're pushing that back just a little bit as we go. Nice little dope finish. And then, of course, all my flies have a double head whip finish on them. Make sure they stay together a little better. And we're going to go ahead and clip that off. Now we turn this thing over, and I want to look at my extended body there, and I want that to be seen. I want that to be seen, so I'm going to trim up some of these deer hair that's kind of capturing that little extended body part to where you can't see it. So we're just going to reach in there and trim a few of those out. Got one stray up in there. There it is. See, now when you turn that over, you can see that real good there. So that's what we're looking for. And that's a cinnamon extended body caddis. And this thing, if you want it to float really even with your water, just get up under there and trim off these bottom ones there some. And then once you get this thing on the water, that hook's just going to drag it down, and it's just going to float just dead on the water, just like so. And that's extended body caddis tied with the cinnamon. A little cinnamon color there. How to be a good fish catcher. Like I say, trim that off, and you got that hook hanging down there. That thing should float just like that on level with the water. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned something. I hope you tie up some of these and check them out, see how they work. Anyway, if you have any flies that you would like to learn how to tie that you can't quite get or something, give me a message. I'll tie one up for you and make a video of it and try to make it a little bit easier for you. Anyway, I appreciate you watching my videos. Have a good day.